Ability to move around is one of the basic rights of human beings. But Sufi Parveen moves by crawling on the ground. An occurrence of polio in childhood left both her legs paralyzed. Lack of toilet in the house and extreme poverty further aggravated her plight. Now, a delighted Sufi moves around in a wheelchair, attending her daily chores and classes at school. Thanks to an accessible toilet, her agonies are over. With the help of simple but innovative technical interventions, Sufi can move outside and within the house almost independently.
अपने से जाती है, लेटरिन, स्कूल, हर जगह अपने से जाती है, हमारे कोई दिक्कत नहीं ले जाने। पहले ले जाने से दिक्कत था, हमको उठाने पड़ता था, साफ करने पड़ता था, उसको मदरसा पहुंचाने पड़ता था।
Sufi is one of the many persons with disability identified by Handicap International for holistic rehabilitation.
Handicap International is a non-governmental, non-religious, non-political and non-profit-making organization. Working alongside persons with disabilities, it offers them assistance and supports them in their efforts to become self-reliant. Following a rights-based approach centered around the person and focusing on their inclusion in mainstream society. In BR, Handicap International intervened post-Cozy floods in 2008 with the financial support of the European Commission Humanitarian Aid. In the emergency phase, Handicap International, with the financial support of ECO, was working on 3 different components: community-based rehabilitation, psychosocial stress relief support, and accessibility.
In the second phase, a major rehabilitation project for persons with disabilities and other vulnerable persons was undertaken in Purnia, Madhepura, and Supal districts.
New major components have been incorporated in the second phase of the project, namely livelihood, disability inclusive disaster risk reduction, and the establishment of the Physical Rehabilitation Center in Purnia. The center provides intensive, comprehensive and specialized rehabilitation services for beneficiaries from the communities in Supal, Madhepura and Purnia district.
In the poverty-stricken operational area, a well-equipped Physical Rehabilitation Center, or PRC, was operationalized in collaboration with a local partner, Dipalaya. PRC provided a complete package of specialized rehabilitation services and facilities such as physiotherapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, and psychosocial support.
3 साल से मैं चल फिर नहीं पाती थी और अभी मुझे यहाँ पे 2 महीना हुआ है तो बहुत फ़ायदा हुआ है। मैं चल भी पाती हूँ और अपना खुद काम भी कर लेती हूँ।
To provide follow-up services to the discharged beneficiaries from the PRC and comprehensive physical rehabilitation services in the community, a mobile unit with therapeutic equipment was pressed into service. While providing doorstep services, Kunal Kumar, a 5-year-old boy, was identified by the volunteers. Due to a developmental problem, he was not able to hold up his neck for even a second and was unable to respond properly to the source of sound. Now, Kunal has a better neck control and shows some improvement in condition. To ensure continuity in rehabilitation services, counseling and training of caregivers, parents is undertaken in the home of the beneficiary itself. To provide multiple services related to rehabilitation, Vulnerability Resource Centers or VRCs were established. Basic services such as diagnosis, assessment, screening, primary care and therapeutic services were provided along with awareness generation in communities to prevent disabilities. Eye, hearing aid camps, shoe modification camps are conducted in the community to provide technical solutions. Mobility devices have been provided to persons with disabilities after detailed assessment and identification through the camps and home visits. It has empowered the persons with disability to move around and work in the society. Adra, a local partner at Begusarai, collaborated in conducting camps and free distribution of mobility devices. Volunteers are trained to ensure provision of quality services to persons with disability, as well as to ensure sustainability after the completion of the project. A child-friendly space has been created at the VRC with locally available materials and resources. It is focused to enhance the physical and intellectual development of children with disabilities through different playful and skillful activities. Yoga sessions have been organized for the community to relieve people from stress, anxiety, and the negative feeling caused by the devastation of Kosi flood. It generated a positive feeling in the community. Enhancement in accessibility to mitigate the impact of future disaster and improvement in mobility of persons with disabilities was taken up as a key factor for inclusive rehabilitation. Construction of the low-cost bamboo bridges established connection and increased accessibility to educational, health and government facilities. More than 10,000 vulnerable persons, including persons with disabilities, can cross the river easily. And during floods, it will be a boon to the community to reach relief camps and safe places. Another major activity of the project was involving the community in cash for work approach, which included construction of roads and bamboo bridges. A lot of persons with disabilities were provided employment under this scheme. This was a major step in reclaiming their confidence and self-esteem.
सड़क जब बनने लगा ना सर, जिंदगी में हम लोग 105 रुपया कमाया, पहले बार सर कमाए हम। सबको जितना 10 लोगों को पैसा मिला उतना भी हमको भी पैसा मिला। सब मिल करके हम भी सड़क बनाए सर, सब गांव वाले मिल करके वे हम लोग खुश है, बहुत खुश है सर।
The network of temporary or kacha roads, ramps and bamboo bridges at strategic places facilitated the accessibility of persons with disabilities to markets, schools, physical rehabilitation centers and other places of need and interest. Their freedom was apparent in their activities. To increase community ownership,
village committees were formed to undertake construction and safe upkeep of the bridges.
Partnership is very, very crucial to our organization, and when we talk about partnership, the guiding principle of our partnership is shared common vision of an inclusive society, a society where everybody has equal rights, including persons with disability. In the context of Bihar, the project was implemented in partnership with local government agencies, local NGOs such as Dipalya as well as KKBB, BKS, and international organizations such as Concern Worldwide and ADRA. The focus of the partnership was building capacity of these organizations to include people with disability into their respective programs. With government authorities, we train the local health workers in early identification of people with disability. Whereas with Dipalya and KKBBKS, we build their capacity in ensuring that the project is continued beyond the project time frame.
Handicap International collaborated with local NGO Kosi Kshetriya Biklang Bidhwa Bridh Kalyan Samiti, KKBBKS, in community-based livelihood restoration initiatives and developing community capacity on inclusive disaster preparedness.
हम लोगों ने विकलांगों को लाइवलीहुड के क्षेत्र में जो है SHG समूह बनाया, जिसमें विकलांग और विकलांग के केयर गिवर को संयुक्त रूप से शामिल करके उन लोगों का एक समूह बनाकर 10 से 20 लोगों के बीच में और उन लोगों को सरकार की बैंक लिंकेज योजना से उसकी जोड़ने का कार्य किया जा रहा है।
SHG members with disabilities and people living below poverty line are trained in tailoring to generate self-employment at community level. After training, sewing machines are being provided to the successful trainees under this project.
Disaster risk reduction and preparedness is one of the key issues for sustainable rehabilitation. Vulnerability Capacity Analysis (VCA) are conducted in the village in participatory approach, including persons with disabilities. Vulnerable persons are a part of this process, where places, vulnerable groups, and local resources are identified.
A high-raised platform with ramp and hand pump to safeguard life during disaster was constructed by community involvement. The catchment population of 50 to 100 persons, including persons with disabilities, can make use of the platform and access to drinking water during disaster. As an effort to mitigate the impact of future disaster, emergency kits have been distributed to villagers that included articles like medical kit, mosquito net, bed sheets, and other items of use. Development of an inclusive society where persons with disabilities are regarded at par required sensitization of the community to generate awareness on disability issues. Through campaigns in schools, students are made aware that their fellows with disabilities have equal rights in the society. Street plays sensitized communities about disabilities issues, reduced stigmas, and opposed myths, misconceptions, and discrimination against persons with disabilities in the society. Inclusive cricket games have been organized to provide opportunities to children and youth with and without disabilities to develop their physical, psychological, and social capacities through sports activities.
The project activities could not have been possible without the help and support of European Commission Humanitarian Aid Department, which funds relief operations for victims of natural disasters and conflicts outside the European Union.
The dream of an inclusive society is moving confidently towards realization. The positive energy and attitude have defeated stigma and discrimination. The myths are dispelled. Due to their abilities, persons with disabilities are acting as an equal partner in various community-based activities. The ultimate goal is not far away.